Welcome to Backstory with G, where we learn the stories behind the scenes.
Welcome to Backstory with G. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Last week's animal was the bristleworm. Today I have a special guest with me. Big John is the reason that I got into diving. An amazing mentor and a wonderful friend. John is here to tell a story about the bristleworms. John,
Yes.
welcome to Undersea G.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you. I feel like a star.
Oh, well, no, you can do better. You can do better. Tell us about the bristleworm and your encounter. You have the funniest story about bristleworms.
Well, yeah, it's funny now that we look back on it, but it wasn't funny that day. I had a group of divers, and we were in the Gulf of Mexico. We went diving on a artificial reef, and it had a lot of bristleworms on it. I mean, they were just like everywhere. Well, I got all the divers in, and I reached in and I got one of these bristleworms to let go because I had on a good pair of thick gloves that I was wearing. Pull this thing down, and they watched him crawl, and that's there it is. Don't ever bad, sting you. Trying to communicate without being able to talk. Anyway, so I turned and I let him go, and I went, Okay, so everybody knew. So we all get back on the boat. All the divers get back in. I come in, follow up the rear, standing on the platform at the back before I get up into the boat. And took my mask off and thought, man, I need to clear my sinuses because they're draining a little bit. And I took my thumb and I put up and blew my nose, and I did the other side and I blew my nose, and I still had my glove on. Yeah, buddy. Before I got to my seat, my nose was red and burning and starting to turn, bright shades of red. And it was just, I'd had all that bristleworm that I wanted. And that's the story that led to your interest in bristleworm.
It did. I've always enjoyed that story so much because
You enjoyed it a lot more than I did.
Yeah, because unfortunately you got hurt in this story. But it's interesting that even secondary exposure, which is really what that was, ended up with ending up with the glass in your nose. And so how long did the effect last? Because that's a very tender part of your body.
Yes, about 40 years, because I still even thinking about coming and talking to you today, it's like, oh my no. It was like almost 24 hours. Almost the next day it still
Really?
hurt. And actually making sure that I had washed all that stuff off and gotten any residue of the spines off my face was what I had to do next. We sat on the boat and squirted it with water.
Did you throw the gloves away?
No.
Just washed them really well?
I washed them really well, and I made sure I didn't turn them inside out. Yeah, really, because I sure didn't want to put my hand in it.
Oh.
But, I went back and used them after that, and I think they don't seem to be like bristles from a sea urchin where they're a little stronger and a little thicker. They are just very fragile. I think which way maybe why they burn so bad.
Yeah.
You get them, they embed quickly.
Even secondhand. I've always enjoyed the story, and I was so thrilled that John would come down and share it with us today. Literally,
any excuse to go to the beach. I'm ready to go
to the beach. Yes, definitely. So there you go, guys. If you got any questions on this, John will answer questions. Just post them down below. As always, Backstory with G. Don't hesitate. Thanks for watching, John. Thank you for being here.
Hey. Appreciate it, old buddy.
Yeah, man.